Okay, now let's take a look at how to calculate your expenses. You click on the expenses tab and you come to the expenses page. So let's see what we have here. Now for expenses, you can break them out by year one for your operating expenses, your non-recurring expenses, and then you can do the same for 2 and 3. We also give you a little feature that you can click on this little macro that will copy your expenses over from year 1 to 2 and 3 to save you time of re-entering. But let's take a look. You're going to see that some of these rows are grayed out. That means that you cannot enter anything directly in them. Why? Because they're calculated fields like advertising and marketing, credit card fees, interest payments on new financing, lease payments on new leases, sales commissions. Where do we think we got that from? That's the income tab, and wages and benefits. So these are calculated from other tabs, so they're brought across. But you can enter for every month, and this is all factored automatically. March, the headings like March, April, May. This is based on the first month of business that you enter on the business information. So if you did your first month was June, then your first month here would be June. This is it's all automatic, nothing you have to do. But as you can see, we give you a lot of areas of expenses that you can list. We even let you look at depreciation if your accountant suggests that you consider that as an expense. Again, this is a forecasting tool. It's a non-cash expense, and you may not need to use it for this purpose. If you do, then I would suggest that you do speak with your accountant. Here's some examples here, some important considerations about some of the tools that you have, about depreciation, factoring large expenses if you're going to use a credit card, and how you account for that. We try to give you as much information as possible, considering that many people do not understand how you really do this. You're not accountants. Now, I'm not an accountant, but I do have a master's degree in business administration and have run my own business in the past where I had to handle the tax calculation, all of the income tax preparation work. So again, I'm not an accountant, but I do know enough to help you out with this. So let's look again at some of these expenses. You can have, if you have any existing leases, you can put monthly payments that you have there. But any new leases that get calculated with this tool, the lease payments will automatically come across. The same with interest payments for any new financing that you do with this using this tool. It'll automatically be populated right into your tracking. So you can see it says year 2. If we look at year 1, you can see that we had no new interest payments here because in our analysis, we're going to do financing that starts in June. So you have interest payments that start in July. We give you good coverage of stuff here. I don't think there's anything we're really missing as far as expenses to help you properly factor in the cost of running your business. Now let's just make sure we didn't miss anything else here. If I'm scrolling down, you can see we also have non-recurring expenses that if you want to put in, like furniture and equipment that you're buying, gifts that you're giving, research and development costs that, let's say, you're taking out as a one-time expense. If you have any startup expenses, although you can put those in here, that may not factor into everything else, but if you just want to look at startup expenses, loan origination fees, which are non-recurring, they automatically populate, as you can see here. If you look at June, you'll see this, and you're probably saying, what's that all about? But you'll see that in our example financing tab. And that's then we have a breakdown of all expenses by annual total. As you can see, your wages and benefits are clearly the top. Sales commissions can be your second, depending on if you're paying sales commissions. And your top 10 expenses by annual total. This just kind of takes out some of the noise of all these ones down here that are so minuscule. Let's look at the top 10 and top 10 expenses percent of total. So you can get an idea of where the largest chunk of your expenses are going. All right, that's it for your expense entry tab.